Welcome to the channel. Today I am on my commute home. I left downtown LA, actually Koreatown, and I'm driving through the Pinata district, and I'm trying to head out on my commute, and my commute sucks. So I decided today I was going to make a video while I was driving along because I want to go over something that happened over the past few days, and it's something that I want your opinion on. One of the things I really like about doing these YouTube videos is the community. And I've said it before that the comments are the best part of it. So I'm really interested in your comments on this whole idea of men playing in women's tournaments, because it happened over the weekend and it's making news. It's been in Card Player and Poker News and all that. And there's a lot of activity on Poker Twitter, people discussing it. It's come up before. So I kind of want to go over it with you, and I want to get your feedback on it, right? So this guy, Dave Hughes, he's a 70-year-old Florida man. He went to the Seminole Hard Rock Casino to visit, I think he was visiting a friend. He had a friend who was playing, I don't know if it was in a tournament. I think the WPT had something going on. If he was playing in the tournament, and I don't know what happened, the friend got busted or he got bored or whatever, and he decided he wanted to play some poker. He wanted to play a tournament. So he was looking for a tournament to play. The only tournament available to play was the ladies event. So he decided he was going to play the ladies event. And I'd like to say hilarity ensued, but it wasn't. It was, lots of complaining, lots of whining, some legitimate, some just kind of silly. But the end result was that Hughes won the tournament. Many of the women went to Twitter to complain. Some of the women, they took it in stride. They're like, okay, this guy signed up for the tournament. We're hoping we can, take his money, that he's dead money, and that, we'll just add to the pot, whatever. And that didn't happen. The guy won. Poker Pro, Ebony Kenny, sort of stepped forward as kind of like the spokesperson / ringleader of the dissenting voices. She spoke to the guy. She put a bounty on his head during the tournament. For those of you that don't know her away from, watching her on TV and poker shows, she is an advocate for empowerment for women especially, and she offers poker coaching for women. She might do it for men too. I don't want to change her marketing if that's the case. But anyway, if you go to her Twitter page and you look at her feed, it's definitely very heavy on, how poker can be used as a catalyst to help empower women, and not just empower them for the poker table, but empower them in life. And I think it's a very positive message. I think she's doing really good things. I think some of the comments that she made related to, this boomer who played in the tournament, I think they were a bit much. But she's certainly entitled to her opinion, and she's certainly entitled to her views on whether or not these ladies tournaments are really, beneficial for women, and whether they do what a lot of the proponents of women's only tournaments say they do. And what they say they do is they believe that they provide a safe space for women who are interested in poker, but who may feel intimidated by stepping into a card room where there's tables full of men, and this gives them an opportunity to play and not feel the intimidation. I have mixed views on that, and I may touch on it a little bit later, but we'll see. I don't really want to piss off any women. There's several players over the years, male players that have played in women's tournaments for different reasons. One guy, I don't have names and a lot on my fingertips since I'm driving, but I know there's one guy that he lost a prop bet, so he had to play in the women's tournament. Shawn Deeb dressed in drag and played in the 2011 World Series women's event, and caught a lot of heat for that. And over the years, there have been other players that have done the same thing. If I'm bothered by anything with the men on this issue, is that there was a time that you could say, okay, there's a women's only event, there's a seniors only event, whatever. The tournament organizers, they should be able to offer whatever variation of the game they want. It's their tournament, it's their house. I don't understand why guys have to play. I can't think of a reason why this guy should have played or whatever. He had time on his hands and the women's event was available. So what? I mean, don't be a dick. The guy came out and said, I don't believe that men should play in women's sports. I agree with that completely, 100%. But why do you trivialize then the intent and, you know, the stated goals and the intent of the promoters and what they've told the women as to why they should play the women's tournament? I mean, it's incredibly selfish. I can tell you that if I was in a similar situation, I'd be like, okay, either I'm going to play cash or I'm going to go home or go play blackjack or do something else, but I'm not going to play in the women's event. And that's more out of a respect for the organizers and, you know, women in general. I don't have to agree with them. And to be honest, I really don't agree with them. I see absolutely no need for a women's only tournament. That's my personal opinion. When I started playing, see, I'm going to drift off now. This is what's going to get me in trouble. When I started playing, I was thrown into the deep end. When I moved to Vegas and I really got into poker, not this, you know, the VFW shit I did in Ohio, or when I was in the military playing with my buddies, that kind of thing. But when I really went into the deep end and I played at places like Bellagio and the Horseshoe downtown, when I did that, I didn't have, you know, any safe space waiting for me. I didn't have the opportunity. I didn't give a shit if the guys looked at me and just said, you know, look at this clown or whatever, or mocked me or whatever. I was thrown in the deep end as far as being able to keep up with them, you know, strategy and winning hands and doing the right thing and making smart decisions. That's all that I cared about when I played poker. And to be honest, that's what women should care about when they play poker. And that's what other men should care about when they play poker. Right? If that is your sensitivity, I understand it. You know, I get it. Like I said, I get that men can be pigs, that kind of thing. But quite frankly, if you're not prepared to deal with it and to work with it, then go to the blackjack table. And guess who's waiting at the blackjack table? Another 70-year-old Florida man who's going to yell at you when you don't hit on 16. That's what's going to happen. This is what happens anywhere you gamble. You can't tell me that poker is that different when you're playing a game with other players at a table, unless you let yourself get easily intimidated. I don't think that women's only tournaments do women any good. If you're a serious player, if you really want to better your game, then to be honest, I think they probably do you more harm than good. It's not something that you should do. You need to get into the deep end, and you need to swim with the sharks, and you need to learn how to work in that environment. Now, that being said, this guy, Hughes, I think was an absolute dick for playing in the women's event. I don't think that he can rationalize his decision by saying, oh, you know, I don't think men should participate in women's sports, but it's okay in this instance because I decided that because it's a mental game, then I should be able to play. No, you just walk away, dude. Seriously, just walk away. You know, play something else. You know, you're 70 years old. I'm sure you got a lot of poker under your belt. You'll get another chance to play. You really will. You shouldn't have done it.